We're going to talk about what actually matters right now. Right now, something has to change, and you know that's true. You can feel it in your soul, but you just don't have the energy to figure everything out. And you know what today is going to be about for the next few minutes here is just noticing what actually matters right now. Right now, just that one next step. And especially in those moments in life when something isn't sitting the same way anymore. It's just not working anymore. So, as we get ready, I just would love for you to take a deep breath with me, just a slow, deep breath. Mm. And just arrive here in the moment so that we can do a bit of a clarity scan. Each week, I like to give you a few things to think about that are going to help you determine what is heavy and what is something that maybe you can stop carrying for a little while anyway. So there's three questions that I want to ask you today in this clarity scan. And I want you to think about what it is. What is it that has been taking up most of your mental space lately? We have to ask ourselves that often because life can be heavy and things can really um, almost snowball, I like to say, if we don't regularly kind of assess and reflect and do a little clarity scan. So I want you to think about it. What's been taken up most of your mental space lately? What is it? And you don't have to put it in the comments. You can just think about it. You can pause if you're watching the recording. You can pause and write down some thoughts about it. But what is taking up that space for you? And then the second thing I want you to think of when you're thinking of what that is that's taking up that space, that's in a place where you feel like things are going to have to change somewhere. What feels heavier than it used to? That thing that you just mentioned or thought about or jotted down. What what feels really heavy, and it is just giving you that message that this can't keep on. I want you to think about what that is. And you know what? It's okay if it feels heavier because we change over time. We learn things, we experience things, and sometimes things that felt light and easy and really um you know where you're at, sometimes they start to feel heavy and you're not there anymore. So that's the second question in this clarity scan. And then the third one is, what are you ready to stop carrying? So if something's got to change, what is that thing that you already know in your heart that you need to stop carrying? Those of us that are in midlife and we may be going through transitions or experiencing things that we just never thought we'd be experiencing at this time in life, or maybe you thought by now you'd have it taken care of or figured out, and for some reason it's still there, it's still heavy, and you want to be able to put it down, but you just don't know how because you've been going the way you're going for a long time, and now got to figure out what is that one thing, just one thing that you can do right now. Maybe it's a decision, maybe it's an action. That one thing you can do right now that would help you breathe easier, just make life so much less complicated if you could do that one thing. And often when we are in the thick of it and things are feeling heavy, we often get this is my experience anyway. We often feel like it's it's getting more difficult. Life is getting harder. And sometimes it's not about that. It's not about life getting harder. It's not about, this is just more than I can handle, when in the thick of it, you were able to handle it. But now it is just something that from experience, from time, from your heart, that it's something that you have outgrown. Okay, you're not in that mode anymore, and there's nothing wrong with that. But yet you're still carrying that way of thinking, that mindset. And you know what? You've outgrown it, and that's okay. It worked for you for a while, but now it is something that you are going to put down. And when everything feels important, when everything feels necessary, you know, that's not where you are the most productive or the most at ease with what you're doing or with how your life is shifting, because everything is getting a little bit of your energy here and there. And maybe some things are getting more of your energy than what it really needs to now. So I want you to think about that and be honest with yourself. You can post it if you want to in the comments, or you can just write it down. You're also welcome to email me at any time or message me, because I am definitely here to talk with you. And I want you to think about what actually matters right now. So you did that little bit of a clarity scan, and we've asked ourselves those three questions. And so what is it that actually matters right now? What is that thing that you can put down, or those few things that you can put aside for a little bit? Doesn't have to be big or huge. It's just a little something that can help your life feel a little more simple. And sometimes it's just a decision. And often it's just those decisions that are hard to wrap your brain around. You ever feel like that? But I just want you to be honest now. And what is it that actually matters right now for you in this situation that we're talking about, in this discussion on, something has to change? And so if thinking about this and doing this type of a clarity scan, if this is really something that you've noticed, something that you are kind of in the midst of right now, we have a clarity challenge coming up April 21st. And it's where we just gently tune in to making one clear decision and one next step, whatever that might look like for you. No pressure, uh, no trying to solve everything, but just a space where you can work through what it is that's already been on your mind, that you've already kind of told yourself something has to change. This clarity challenge is a space where we can kind of figure out where we're coming from and put some of that change into practice, just one step at a time. So I want to thank you for joining, for spending time listening. If you want to, I'm going to put the questions for the clarity scan in the notes or in the comments so that you can spend a little bit more time on that. And then let me know if you're interested in the clarity challenge. You can look in the comments. I'll put a link down there for you to get a little bit more information about the clarity challenge. If you're visiting, you're in the Facebook community right now, you can go to the events tab. You can click on there and it'll be listed right there, the clarity challenge, and you can register to join us. So thank you for listening and for spending a little bit of time doing a scan for yourself, a clarity scan to try to figure out what matters most right now, and then determine what is that one thing that you can do to move forward. So thank you, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.